So, I mean, money. It's really complex and there's a lot of nuances here. But the overall picture is that yes, money does matter for happiness. We can see on average, richer countries, richer people are happier than poorer ones. But I think the important takeaway here is that the mechanism is being without money is a cause of unhappiness. If we can't put food on the table or roof over our head, yes, that will give us worry, stress, anxiety, and unhappiness. But once we reach a certain level, additional income doesn't seem to matter so much more. So it's what economists call the diminishing marginal return. The more we have of it, the less pleasure we derive from it. This is my 8th cup of coffee, which was fine, but the first cup of coffee this morning was excellent. And it's the same with coffee, with cake, with money. The more we have, the less pleasure we get of it. So that's both at a country level, but also at a personal level. There's also some additional nuances here. We can see that what people care about is not just absolute income, which means how much money do they have, how much money can they consume with, but they also care about relative income. So how much money do I make compared to everybody else? We'll do a question here on the course, which you can consider your answer to. Imagine you could live in two worlds. The first world, you make $50,000 per year, and everybody else makes $25,000 per year. In the second world, you make $100,000, so now you make twice as much as you did before, but everybody else makes $200,000, so it makes twice as much as you. So the question is, which world would you prefer to live? Prices are constant, so a cup of coffee costs the same thing, but think about which world you would like to live in, and we'll give you the answer of the average answer to that question as well. It's an interesting one. And again, we can see that social comparisons matter. People care about their position in the social hierarchy. And that is also one of the reasons for what we call the Easterlin Paradox. So the Easterlin Paradox is the paradox in the fact that we can see that on average, richer countries are happier, yet when countries get richer, people don't necessarily get happier. One of the reasons for that is what we talked about before, the relative income. Because if everybody double our income, we're still stuck in the same place in the social hierarchy. That's one of the reasons. Another reason is, of course, also that there's a distribution issue here. If the American economy doubles, not every American doubles their paycheck. Usually the biggest share of the bigger piece of the pie goes to the top 1% or the top 10%. Not to go all Bernie Sanders off on you, but we can see that more equal countries are better in terms of quality of life, among others, because of that.